up, viewers, and it's race day here, Japanese circuit in our Formula 1 cars, racing as the Windsor team. All the excitement and drama of race day, the crowd is there, flags in the crowd. Got my knowledge from my drivers, just using the auto pick options there, just a quick way to get set up. Going to my car setup. Obviously I made a bit of a meal of this in the practice. I didn't really do it all properly. I was sort of mucking about really to see how things worked. You can see my drivers are, well, don't mind handling, but certainly downforce and speed balance, they're very unhappy. So I increased the downforce. I don't want super high downforce because I want them to be quick down the straights, but I think, well, I'll give them a fair bit more. Again, this is a balancing process between the front and rear wing. Giving them quite a bit more downforce this time. Not making too many differences to the handling. It's quite sort of on the limit as it is. You know, the driver is happy, and of course speed balance, you can see they're very poor. So it's geared towards acceleration. I guess I'd like a little bit more top speed, or I'm just going to give them a little bit more top speed. Trying to be subtle about it though. I don't really want to go too crazy. You know, you need good acceleration out of those corners. And again, this is where you alter your tyre pressures. You know, I'm reducing the tyre pressures a bit here because I upped the tyre pressures before, but generally you want to have your tyre pressures quite low. They do heat up in those tyres, my goodness. I'm just testing the different tyre pressures out. I'm just looking at the differences that makes to handling as well as speed balance. And this is just a process. I mean, I don't know the solution to it all yet, or at this point. It was very much a case of just understanding which parts affect which parts of the car, and how to alter those accordingly. You know, I don't want to mess up the handling too much because I know my driver's happy. So subtle alterations across the board. Hopefully the drivers will be happier with that. It's always a balance, you know, you can't keep a driver happy with everything because you need the cars finely tuned to an extent to be competitive. So we've gone with the soft compound. And now we do the same thing here again. A bit quicker this time, just to quickly whiz through what we just did. Again, this takes a bit of time. I considered cutting this, so we just went straight to the race, but I thought, no, it's important that you guys see, you know, before we get to the race, setting your cars up, maximising your performance of your cars, you know, and just learning really. I mean, I've no idea what the best solution is, so I'm just sort of learning about. There are people out there who will be refining this to the limit and will produce probably way better setups in terms of just maximising each element. It's not massively complex. You're not going into too much depth. I like to try and keep the car as stiff as possible. Don't want it to wallow too much on the suspension. And I'm going to split my strategy here, possibly go onto a medium tyre. What am I thinking? How many laps is the race? How far can I go? So we've got 32 laps. So I'm thinking, well, we could go with that tyre, do a two-stop strategy. No, I've gone with the super soft for whatever reason. So I'm thinking, well, 2 stops is what I'm going to angle for. Let's get. I think the idea was good track position. Now you set up your engine, and your driver style for the race. So I wanted to push quite hard. So what I've gone with is a short first stint. Let's get track position in the first stint. Let's spread the field out, make sure we're in a good position, and then move on to a harder tyre to maintain track position for the rest of the race. So he's further ahead, so I've split the strategies a bit. Oliveira is going to pit later. He's on a slightly harder tyre, so I wanted to split those strategies. He's also on a more moderate setup in terms of pushing at the start. So away we go, lights go out, and away we go down into turn 1. And they're trying to hold track position, loses out there, didn't want that, comes back on the inside. This is great, this is exciting now. Still in 10th place, but unable to make any advantage. And you can see it's really competitive throughout the pack. Bit frustrated to see that car slipping through there. So we've lost a place, couple of places at the start. And again, some of that might be down to... Oh, one of my guys there, Oliveira's had a problem with another car, so he might have got knocked off the track slightly. He's fallen all the way back down to 18th now. What a disaster. There we are, giving it to them, Lipponen. He's not having any of it, is he? He's working his way through. He's determined to do well, and he's actually driving really well. It's just, you know, he doesn't quite have the car. You know, we haven't had much time to develop the car at this stage. I've got a team working on the brakes. We're working on reliability throughout the car, but working really in terms of investment on the brakes and the power unit at the moment. After that, more work will be going into other things. I've increased his engine now and his aggressiveness now to push hard. Really use these tyres. I mean, I'm not bothered about burning these tyres up at this stage. You know, we'll go with an aggressive strategy at this stage and see where we end up. So 10th place, not where I want him to be. You really do feel under pressure when you're putting your driver onto a push strategy, because you know you're burning through your fuel. You know, so if you look down at the fuel gauge bottom left there, you'll see fuel, it says minus 41, so that means we're not going to finish the race at the moment on the amount of fuel. So I will need to do some fuel saving to finish the race with him, but he's got 9th position. I wanted him to overtake at least one car, stay in that top 10 position. Oliveira is up to 17th place, eat my dust. So I can see the fuel gauge I'm looking at there. You see the mouse hovering over it, just keeping an eye on how much fuel we're using, and the tyres there as well. So I'm going to possibly alter the strategy now. I'm altering the strategy now to medium, because I'm saying, well, you know, let's see if we can serve. But then I see him coming up against another car, and I'm thinking, well, we've got another overtake opportunity here. So he's talking about going through the tyres. And I'm thinking, no, don't go easy on them, get track position. If you can overtake, do it. So the field spread is already quite high, so keep building pace like this. 60% tyres, that's not too bad at all. Already a few laps into the race. And there we go, through into 8th position now. So we're in a good place now to, if we can maintain this position, sort out a pit stop. So I'm going to keep them high, keep pushing. I'm going to watch those tyres get down to about 50%, and then see if I can, you know, just sort of nurse it home. I'm focusing very much on him rather than the other driver at the moment. The other driver's, Oliveira, is on a long-term strategy, so I've not got him pushing too hard. I'm just going to take a look at him now, see how he's getting on. He's on a slightly longer strategy, so I don't want him to push too hard. I don't want him to damage his tyres. I want this set to last. So you can see the fuel is positive. Tyres at 70% roughly. That's fine. Just want him to keep on pushing and see if we can maintain that position. He's doing okay at the moment. 15th place, disappointing given his starting position, but given the poor setup in qualifying, there was always going to be a problem, being bumped off. So I'm going to tell him to push a bit more now. He's held on quite a lot this race, and I really would like to see him get a bit closer to 14th place. Let's see what he can do. He's got a much better setup on the car now, so should be happier with it in terms of his driving. Monitoring the tyres and fuel on both cars to make sure that we're in control. So you can see he's caught up. Might consider pushing a little bit here to get past these guys. I can see he's being held up now, so I'm saying attack and overtake now. I think thinking about it. Yeah, so attack and overtake. I was saying, you know, look, this guy's holding you up. Let's get past. Critical really when you've got good tyres. I mean, some of these guys are on tyres that are a bit more worn. Having said that, I mean, my guy's tyres are probably a bit more worn than those around him, but I'm getting him to push all the same. So another car taken, and now we're up to 14th place. I can see 13th is for the taking now, so I'm thinking keep on pushing. I don't really like to use up my tyres like this, but again, you know, track position is just so important, and we can just maintain this position, we'll be in good shape later in the race. Because obviously, you know, we're hoping to get away with a one-stop strategy on this car. So still got a long way to go, only lap 9. So, you know, tyres are a little bit more burned up than I would like, but just going to keep that going. Now you can rotate the camera. I'm not rotating the camera and zooming in and stuff. I've got it at a level where I like it at the moment. Trying to get used to the lap and where you are on the circuit. Meanwhile, Lippinen's down to 19% on his tyres, so I'm going to skip back to him in just a moment. I want my guy to get past here. Come on, get past. Got a better car. That's it. Through on the inside, and that's good. So now he can work his way and continue to march upwards. 13th place, recovering gradually. Still a long way to go in this race. We're not even half race distance yet. So 5th and 12th place at the moment. Sponsor target is 8th place. Oh, it's 10th place actually. For some reason I thought it was 8th. 10th place. And trying to maximise the car. So I've changed his settings now, and Lippinen, I've just had a look and could see his tyres are nearly down, so I'm going to put him onto the medium tyre. Give him a long middle stint now if I can. There we are. So put him onto the medium tyre. Looking at his components on his car, it's all in pretty good shape. So I'm going to pit him. He's on a neutral strategy now. He'll stay on that until his fuel recovers. You know, I don't want him pushing the engine too hard. Lippinen's losing positions, as you can see there. We've just lost a couple of positions. I was a lap late in pitting him. 1 lap equals 2 laps in real life. But you can see I'd been so caught up in the battle of the other car, I forgot about this one for a lap and just missed the window to bring him in. So he's on the way out again. 14th place. Bit disappointed there. I mean, we lost probably 2 or 3 places just by the tyres wearing out a bit too much. Really, I should have brought him in a bit sooner. We wouldn't have lost so much in terms of track position. But new tyres now. These tyres worked much better on the car in practice. So I'm hoping these can get him some way into the race. We might last to the end. Then again, we might need to change to super softs for the last couple of laps. Bit of a splash and dash, as they would say in Formula 1 terms. So just catching up Oliveira now. So fuel wise, he's okay. He's not great. He'll need to save a bit more fuel. So I'm going to look at the strategy and just change the engine mode to medium. That means he can still keep a solid pace, but not pushing too hard. Just needs to be mindful with his driving, and that fuel will gradually get to a point where it will last. So that's going to take a few laps to equalise that. No pushing to the limit for the moment. Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend. There'll be some drama in that as well, obviously, between Nico and Lewis. Will Nico keep his head? Will Lewis keep his head under pressure? It's going to be quite a weekend for them both. Probably the most exciting race weekend of the year, because we're getting to that sharp end of the championship and it's still not decided yet, whereas it seems to have been much more straightforward last year. Obviously Lewis won well before the end. So I'm keeping an eye on him now. His tyres are very, very low now. And I don't necessarily want the same thing to happen, so I will bring him in to a pit stop soon. And just try and sort of consolidate the improvements we've made so far. Decent gap to the car behind. 10th place, but we've got some rain coming now, so drama. And Lippmann, I've moved his engine mode down. I was having him push a bit after the pit stop to try and regain some track position. Oh, and he's gone off. Drama. Lippmann has gone off the circuit. And you can see he's just told me he's been going through his tyres. Son of a... That's it. Damn, my main man who was working his way up. And of course with pit strategy, by the time everybody else pitted, I would have been well into the top 10 with him. So, disaster now. Now it's... Oliveira is going to get my full attention now to try and get the sponsor cash. We need the cash to build the car. And it's a disaster, and it's a safety car as well. So I thought, you know what, let's quickly use the safety car to change the tyres and bring him in the pits. But I've just missed the pit lane, which is another disaster for me. So his teammates crash appears to have completely messed up our strategy for both drivers, and there we are right behind the safety car. He's let him by one of the back runners, has he? Yeah, he's waiting for the leader, so he's let us past. And that's really helped me, because now I know when I come round, I want to pit. And I want to change my tyres. 16 laps to go, half race distance. Let's see if we can whack on the harder tyres and finish the race without needing another pit stop. That's the goal here. Going at a reduced rate, but obviously the field are way behind the safety car. And coming around in the pits. I think I moved the camera here because I can't quite see the pit lane. coming out then. And we've gone with, again, another set of the soft, but these were due to last. Quite marginal, but the way I looked at it is we're not really using much performance here, so I've put him right down to minimum engine, just conserving the car while we're behind the safety car, just try and protect the car, because you need to do that as soon as you're behind the safety car, you know, save your car. So I'm thinking now, if we can stretch these tyres out, they do a maximum I think of 16 laps, so you know, we're almost on the maximum length of these tyres, and if we can conserve them, then quite possibly they can make it all the way. So I kind of want the safety car to stay out as long as possible at this stage. But quite a few of the guys ahead of us need to pit. So you can see they're on, some of them on super softs. And safety car's heading to the garage now. So we are gradually closing up on the other cars. Oh, nice detail of the circuit. I mean, you just see all the detail there, all the car parks and all the trees. Really lovingly designed. It's really nice looking work that the development team have put together here. Very impressed with the passion they have for motorsports in developing this. It's clear to see. So safety car's going to come in. I'm thinking, right, well, let's move the engine mode up, attack full engine mode. You know, get ready, attack. Just attack everybody. They're so close. Most of the guys ahead of us, quite a few of them have worn tyres. So, you know, at least four cars there have worn tyres, and he goes for it. So 11th place. Saying get in there. The bundle there, going into turn 1. Cars under braking. 9th place. Keeping 9th place now. 8th place. Working his way through the field. This is perfect for us. We're really using the advantage. I think it just showed, you know, if I'd had better qualifying, we'd have been right up there now. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We'd have using a lot of tyres and engine, just getting past this lot. 7th place. This is really working out nicely. I don't really want to keep on this strategy for too long because I know it's going to burn out the tyres. I don't want that. I want to try and protect the tyres, but if I think, well, if we can just get past, this guy needs a blue flag. Blue flags! Come on, blue flags, get out of the way. And that's it now. So I've changed the engine and the driver setting down to push now. So that's just maintaining track position if we can. You know, you don't immediately want to slow your car down because then they're just all on top of you. So we need the field spread to go up a little bit more before reducing those settings. Okay, so my driver's just told me there some feedback. So I'm going to say conserve the tyres now, medium engine mode. That's it now. Let's just maintain some clean laps and maintain track position. And we'll look at that. We can see there tyres are down almost 20%. Also fuel is well down as well. So pushing those laps really hurt the fuel and tyres. And we still have a long way to go in this race. So by racing terms it would be double the amount of laps. So 24 laps you would say. So up into 4th place with other cars pitting, of course. We knew that would happen. This is a really good result now. I think, you know, knowing that This car was down to 18th place earlier in the race with the wet weather, with the safety car, with various strategy. We've made it all the way back up to 4th place now, and we're just hoping to get to the finish. Now, looking at it, there's only one other car behind me with sort of as much in the way of worn tyres in the top 10, so I've really got to conserve this car now. And you could fast forward at this point, but I found that I'm getting so much in terms of what's happening in the race that it sort of helps to just take it in real time. So lap 22 completed, and it's looking good at the moment. I'm pleased. We're up to 3rd place now, temporarily on the podium. He's trying to hold the other guy off, but I thought I'd like you to hold him off, but I can't get him to push at this stage. So at the moment, trying not to let him past, but there we go, down into 4th again. The other car was much quicker than us at this stage. He's got fresher tyres. Let's just focus on where we are, and that's what I'm doing here, just saying let's focus on conserving our tyres, conserving our fuel. And so we're going to neutral position now, just trying to maintain this position so we don't fall any further back. Tyres down to 63% and dropping quickly. Actually, I was surprised just how quick these tyres were falling off. In hindsight, the harder compound would have been the better choice, having done so well in practice. So maintaining that track position in 4th place. I'm relatively pleased right now. I think in hindsight I'd probably have continued conserving at this stage. I would have said keep conserving, because you've got track position, you just need those tyres in the car to last. I mean, you get overheating problems, you get part failures, everything else. So, you know, even though you're doing quite well here, you know, it's anything can go wrong. So maintaining that position. We've got a car all over the back of us there, and that's putting some pressure on us now. It's a much quicker car, so it's north behind us, and maintaining that track position at the moment, at least, without needing to increase the engine or the tyres too much. As I say, if we did have a bit more track position there in terms of distance between us and the car behind, then it's much easier to reduce your style in terms of pushing the car. 7 laps to go, and I'm feeling relatively comfortable right now. I'm feeling comfortable that I don't really need to do anything right now. You know, I'm looking at the tyres and I'm thinking, well, we've been on them for some time. They're down to 46%. I'm not entirely comfortable with that. I'd like to have had an extra, I think, 15% at this stage, but either way, that'll work. And maintaining that track position despite a lot of attention and pressure. Rain is coming again. Don't know how I feel about it this time. I'm kind of hoping it just goes away at this stage. I am conscious that my driver has quite worn tyres, and we've just got a condition warning come up on the car as well. So there it is, brakes and suspension are really looking bad for me now, and I'm thinking, oh no, you know, I've just had to ignore at this stage. You can fix these things in a pit stop, but I knew that if we pitted now that we almost certainly wouldn't make the top 10. So, and I'm thinking, well, how long is there? There's 5 laps to go. We're on a conserve strategy, so let's just keep the driver on conserve, not push the engine too much. Still a bit of standing water on the track there. As you can see there, a bit of spray coming up from the cars now. And you can see the warning on the car there. Parts are really getting run down. So when I get back to base after this, I'll be looking to improve those parts in terms of reliability as well, in terms of speed, but certainly in terms of reliability. So maintaining 4th place. It's a close one. More water on the track, but not enough to require inters at the moment. It's enough for the drivers to deal with. And I'm feeling the pressure. I'm looking at those settings and I'm thinking, no, hang in there. So now I've sped up the race now. I've decided, you know what, I can't bear it anymore. I can't do anything now. That's it really. I just need to be on conserve for the rest of the race. So I've sped it up. And let's get through these last little couple of laps. Couple of laps to go. I'd like to have had a podium, would have been nice, but I'm satisfied with losing a car and still being in this track position. Tyres are down to 24% with 2 laps to go, and they're dropping really fast now. I'm finding that the tyres are really falling quickly now they've got in this lower section. We've lost a bit of track position, down to 6th place there. Tyres are really starting to wear now on our car, with sort of the least tyre in the top 10, so it's a matter of hanging in there. 6th place, thinking, come on, hold on. 8% now on my parts. Is it going to be a disaster? It's I've had this before actually. If you watched some of my old F1 2011 videos, you'll have seen me run out of fuel on the final lap of extended runs, being unlapped. An Eddie Irvine moment, and I'm thinking, just hang in there, you know, we're on the final lap, come on, don't break. Nothing we can do. I mean, there really is nothing we can do at this stage. You just have to make it to the finish. And there's one more lap, but that's it. The winner's done. That was the checkered flag. And what is that? It's like a bearded Schumacher there, and that's it for the race. So wow, I have to say, made it across the line. What a relief to finally make it. You can see the different tyre strategies there for everybody. Learned a lot from that. Very exciting, quite tense, and that's it for this race, and there'll be more from me very soon.